Hey guys, I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. We just wanted to reset the connection because I couldn't get all of what Candice was saying. So I'm hoping that resetting the connection really helps y'all, so you can really hear what's going on. Because like I said, all of her actions, and she's trying to make a big difference by actually showing up and giving time, if not money or things. I see it's very clear now. So I'm hoping that works. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
August.
What's going on with Instagram lately?
I don't know. I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to jinx nothing. But it's my favorite location because I can share it from here without any
Yeah.
problems. It's the only reason I choose Instagram. Otherwise I would be on Facebook. So it's all good.
No, it's all good. I mean, because I did an interview, I think was it last week, and we were
Uh-huh.
having, I think we did it 2 or 3 times, but that's what everybody's been saying is that the
Thank you,
live
Shamali.
is going crazy. Much better? Good.
Yeah. See, I
Okay.
wasn't sure because the other day I did one and then it wouldn't let me post it. And I was like, oh my God, it was a great interview and I lost it. Whatever. Okay, we'll just do it again. Okay. So you were saying when you took people down for Hurricane Harvey to make sure that, people knew that you were there, you were doing stuff, and they said, you know what, y'all being here is support enough. And that really goes to the heart of what you're trying to say. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be things. Donate time. Show up.
Yes.
That's how you show
Yeah.
support.
Yeah, and kind of like the backstory with the Hurricane Harvey team that we took, the first team that we took, and as soon as we heard about Hurricane Harvey hitting, we didn't know what we were doing, but all we knew was like, okay, let's fundraise money. So let's get everybody together in our own communities, because we're all based mainly in California, and then at that time we had our Las Vegas chapter as well. And, we fundraised without even knowing where the money was going to. And I did not want to do it. I did not want to, know nothing against all the big organizations that I won't name.
You want to see it put to work. That's bottom line, right?
Exactly.
You know the money's coming. You want to show that you're really putting it where it's needed.
Yes. Exactly. And WOW at that time was maybe just a year old. I think we had just celebrated kind of like our year anniversary. And about 3 days into like our fundraising efforts, I just had this vision that was like, okay, you are going. And I go, what do you mean we're going? And I was like, there's no way there's no way financially I can do it. There's no way, I can't leave family or my obligations here, my responsibilities here. And that was just the loud voice in my head, and it just kept repeating, and like it really brought me to tears. So I messaged our board of directors, and I said, hey, this is what I'm hearing. What do you guys think? I really believe that it's not just the money or resources that we would be sending. It's the need for our helping hands, for our hearts, for us to interact, for us to be just able to be with them, and getting dirty and really seeing and living their, not only their devastation, but really how they're overcoming and how they're getting through it with the community. And I had no idea that was going to be, I thought we were going to go over there to be, blessing them and making things better for them. And really the two teams, because we took a couple of teams out there at different times, we left feeling more whole, more complete, probably even more blessed than we felt like we even did in their life, and that is what it's all about. It's like, you just never know, just serving, and coming from a selfless attitude, it really it could make the entire difference. It's so powerful, so powerful.
It's and people don't seem to understand that kind of an experience. Like, I was just talking to someone today, and she was like, I teach my clients, but then I'm also a assistant professor in a university, and she teaches her students, and she learns, she is refilled from all of those experiences. So for you to say that, you spoke to the people who needed the help, and then you asked them what they wanted, and they said, just be here. I know from my own life that at certain moments, all I needed was a smile from someone.
Yes.
Someone who sees me. Just from, you don't have to see, you don't have to say anything, you don't have to empathize, you don't have to hug me, nothing. You see me, and we lock eyes for a moment, I smile at you, you smile at me, and I feel better. I feel like, okay, let me put those silly thoughts that are in my head right now out of my head. That's all that it takes. It's really that small. But yes, you are refilled, you are reborn with every experience that you have, because it's almost like confirmation that you're in the right place.
Yes.
This is what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that overwhelming voice inside your head sometimes, because we've had more than one conversation like this where you said, I'm really feeling a pull to do this particular thing. And I was like, well, go for it. And it always works out, please.
Yes. And, you know, it's just that those voices, everything, every time I kind of like, I feel like I can breathe a little bit. I'm like, okay, is this cruise control? It feels like it's never that.
No. Yep. I love that. So Hurricane Harvey is one of them. I mentioned the prom earlier before we cut off when we started over again. I know you have a lot of events coming up, and you continually try to build the community to rally around for support in general. Don't wait for a crisis, just be there anyway. So then, you know, if people need something, they know where to come. So I love that you're doing that. You do things like bingo and movie nights, and you have an expert series that you have people coming in to, you know, teach your groups. You have so many things going on. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you have at the moment, what's coming up maybe?
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with our prom, our prom events, because you've kind of touched on that. But this is our annual event, and the whole, I mean, I don't know how many of you all, if you guys know how much prom could be a financial burden, drop some dollar signs.
One night is a big deal. Yep.
But, you know, I just had, you know, my daughter go through prom, and, you know, the tickets alone are, you know, could be a couple $100s, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, especially for the girls, their dresses, their shoes, their, you know, nobody does their hair and makeup by themselves. They go get that done. And then, you know, whatever other costs, but, you know, it's not just in one part of the world, it's every part of the world. Families are struggling, you know, with even dual incomes, you know, so we really felt like no teen, if we could help, no teen should have to miss such an important milestone, you know, in their life if they wanted to go. And, you know, a lot of the times, like, these girls that we're meeting, like, they don't want to ask, you know, their family, their parents, can I go to prom? Because they're already are seeing, I mean, they're old enough to see all the financial struggles that are already going on.
They're already looking at that price tag. Yeah.
Correct. So they're going to play the, you know, like, no, I don't want to go. But then opening up this kind of thing where January through March of every year, we do these like massive prom drive campaigns where we get the community, we get donations of dresses, suits, tuxedos, jewelry, shoes, accessories, or whatever, all the formal wear that they may need. And then from March through about May or June, we do what we call like our prom. We used to say yes to the dress.
Yes, I love that.
Event. But then we started doing it for the boys as well. So now we call it like the prom pop-up giveaways. So we have literally hundreds and hundreds of dresses in stock, shoes, accessories, all of that. And we set it all up. The girls, it's open invite to the community. They come in, they try on dresses. Hopefully they take one home. They can get shoes, accessories. But you know what, Pika? It's not just about just like giving them a materialistic thing. When they come through those doors, like they are, like we have so much fun working them because we're just like, you would look great in this, or
exactly. It's like a family event almost, right? It's like it takes a village. I like that.
You know, and it's, you know, so I actually did kind of like a mini little impromptu interview with somebody who had been a recipient of a dress last year. Okay. And like I know her personally, but she hates shopping, does not like shopping.
I do too, actually.
I don't either. She hates shopping, you know, and they come in and we make them just, you know, pour into them, telling them, you know, you are beautiful. You're amazing. Wow, that looks great on you. That dress was made for you. Sometimes they don't even hear those things. Never once. in their life about how amazing they are, how beautiful they are, you know, and building up those confidence and that self-love for themselves,
Yeah.
you know, and that is really the most important thing of this whole event. And the fact that, you know, I really hope that they remember that a community came around and rallied for them, that cared for them, that loved
I have
them.
no doubt. I have
And
no doubt.
yeah, and I hope that they come back, not necessarily with our organization, with any organization, or by all means start an organization of their own,
Yep.
or some kind of cause of their own, and want to give back to the community because of something that they felt or that they were impacted by seeing us and being at one of our events.
Exactly.
That's really the bigger picture, you know. I mean, people can say, oh, it's just, you know, it's prom, whatever. It has nothing to do with just that. It's the experience that they're getting when they're with us and we're able to touch them and see them.
Exactly. And something you said about, you know, speaking life into them. This day and age, there's so much criticism out there. It's really easy to tear people down, and it's most people's go-to because that's how they feel good about themselves, to put someone else below them or beneath them.
Yeah.
You're doing a fundraising event, you're doing a nonprofit event. It's not like you're getting money out of this. There's nothing, you don't get anything out of this. You're doing this because you love that look in someone's eyes when they feel good about themselves. And you know how much of an impact that can last. I mean, if I'm telling you that from my own experience, just a smile could carry me through a couple of days, can you imagine what your event is doing for people? And it's not hollow. It's not for sense of, you know, a cheap. It's nothing like that. It's
Right.
You're raising other people's children, even if it is for a day, for an event, whatever the case may be. You're doing your part. You're being the best mom you can be, just in general. It's not just your kids. It's everyone's kids. And
Yes.
There was a time that I really miss, actually. There was a time where it was viewed like, you know, all the kids of a certain age and then the adults of a certain age, those were their kids. You may not be of my flesh, but you're my child. I will treat you as my child. I will treat you as my sister. I will treat you as my father, like all those things, right? And I wish with my whole being that would come back, and I know you're doing your part to do that. Now, something you mentioned earlier, you said that there are chapters.
Yes.
How can someone get involved? Maybe to help out wherever there is a chapter, or maybe even to help you start a chapter in a new place.
So the link in our bio in IG, the WOW, W.W.O.W, Winning with Other Women. If you click on that link, I mean, if you're still want a little bit more information, you can watch like kind of like our video promo of really, it's like a recap of everything we did last year. Get kind of an idea of like who we are. And then there is a link on there that you can say that you're interested in more information or possibly membership to a chapter. And yes, I mean, I would love to start, you know, we are WOW the World. That's our nonprofit. And so we need to be in all parts of the world in order to wow the world. So we are definitely looking to expand chapters. The one unique kind of thing that we've started in the last year was really try to build this online community and really not let, you know, our geographies be our limitations, and really bringing and bridging women all over the world onto this online community of like you had mentioned. We do weekly what we call the expert series. It's EXPHER series, where we have a rotating races of like guest speakers and just people just kind of pouring into us, and it doesn't not necessarily just about business. It's really personal development, because if you really want business development, you got to get right inside first, and everything else changes.
You got to know what you want, and you got to know yourself really well to figure out what you want. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it just really, everything you want starts within you first. But yeah, it's just really neat to see all the, you know, the different time zones, and it's taking some adjusting because we've been primarily on the West Coast. And so like naturally we all like to do kind of like a late night session of like 8-9 o'clock when everything's all done throughout the day. Everybody's
when it's finally calm.
Yes. But I'm pushing them out of their comfort zone, because we do have like East Coast girls,
Yeah, you do.
Women on our calls. So it's like, adjusting. They're like, they worked with our schedule, I think, for like a month, and all the toothpicks are in the eyes, and they're like,
I tried a couple times. It was a little tough. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just really bringing them together, and it's just neat. I cannot tell you, like, just how much that overwhelms my heart of seeing the different connections that are happening all over the world, and seeing women support each other all over the world, and lift each other up and keep each other accountable for, what we say what we're going to do, or what we want in life.
Exactly. And I actually see this big shift where things are becoming a little more matrilineal. We are respecting our women a little bit more. It's getting there. It's not where we'd like it to be, but it's getting there. And it starts with us respecting each other and ourselves. And once we put our foot down for that, it has no choice but to spread. If we show the world what our expectation is as far as respect and love and how to be there for each other, the rest of the world will pick it back up. And August says, my hands have been busy. I had to pause. But this is why I asked how you can start chapters, because I know a small group of women out in Georgia who would love to do this, and I need to figure out how I can do it here in Singapore too. So yes, I want to make sure that people know where to go, how to figure out the information. And if nothing else, ask Candice. She's very, very approachable. She's so kind and caring. Ask. Everyone that's on here that I interview and introduce you to, they're phenomenal women and phenomenal men. There are people out there trying to make a difference, trying to give back to the communities, and they're totally approachable. Please ask questions. Please ask questions.
Wait, I just want to interrupt you there.
Sure.
Because you just, really held everybody up that you associate yourself with on this great pedestal, but I hope you know that it's just a reflection of the kind, gentle, amazing hearted woman that you are.
Thank you.
And all of the connections that you make for people all over the world. I
love doing that, though.
Yes,
it's fun to me.
Yes, it is. I agree. And just kind of seeing like, wow, it wasn't, maybe it wasn't meant for me, but these, connecting these two entities together and seeing it just like blow up and be something huge is amazing, right?
Exactly. And that's part of what we do by supporting each other. The more people I get to meet, the more people that I get to talk to, I see patterns, and I remember stories of other people I've spoken to, and then I'm like, okay, these two need to talk to each other. They have a lot in common. They can help each other, which is why August is saying, tell her again, yes, there is a group of people out here that I know of, and I'm going to talk to you about this afterwards, that this would be a phenomenal way for us to wow some more.
Is she saying that, or is she saying like tell her again, like tell you again?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
That you are an amazing woman.
Both of them. We'll go with both.
Lee Filipino, thank you.
So, oh my goodness. Okay, yes, ma'am. August, I got the message. Thank you. She's so funny. Yes. So get out there and do. It doesn't take very much. And August, actually, I was thinking about you because we had a conversation about how people are real quick to, talk about the government and all the problems that are going on. And yes, the news is saying this. And yes, the celebrity is screwing up here. And okay, cool. But what can I do to make a difference? I can't help those people. Those are not my circus and they are not my monkeys. Mm-hmm. But within our own communities, the people we see every day, the people in the grocery stores, the kids and parents that we see when we go to pick up our own kids, everyone, our neighbors, everyone, we can help them. And it doesn't take anything but a little bit of time, a little bit more kindness, a couple words of affirmation to show up when you know someone's hurting. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like if you see it, it's your responsibility. You noticed it, right? So you noticed it for a reason. You should probably do something about it. And it doesn't take much.
Really, if you're in a funk, go do something great for somebody. And
absolutely.
That will take you out of your funk.
It will put things in perspective. Yep.
Yes. Even if it's a phone call to a friend and just, a gratitude call of saying, hey, I thank you for whatever. I'm grateful for your friendship, blah, blah, blah. Just do one small little act of kindness or do something to serve somebody else and watch you get out of a funk.
Exactly.
That's I find,
yeah, exactly. Every time I find myself really confused and I don't know what to do, or I'm bogged down with one problem, and that's not even like my whole life. It's like a tiny thing that's really bothering me. I need to get out of my own head. So I need to go do for someone else. I need to go serve someone else. I need to teach or read to my, like something, anything that hasn't anything to do with your problem, and somehow it will figure itself out. There are always messages for you.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's almost like the answer to everything, because I'm a firm believer, and this is, like I said, hopefully, if you haven't caught the first part of our live interview before we had to reconnect, was our cease to increase motto. And it's just like, you get in a funk, go serve, go give yourself up to somebody else. Go, you know, so be selfless somewhere. You want success? Is there a goal that you're trying to attain? Is there some big dream? Well, you know what? It probably takes a little bit of sacrifice. That sacrifice is going to come in service. And what is it? You know, and it doesn't have to be these grand gestures. It does not have to be these grand gestures either.
I think a lot of things are lost in grand gestures. It doesn't really always show that you know what you're doing or you're paying attention. The smaller ones really mean a lot. The smaller ones are where all those big, great memories are from.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that's it. Really, what I love about WOW is like it's a collaborative effort. So, I mean, whether you are, you know, what we call a member, and whether you are, you know, always with us going to events or whatever, you can be connected with us, and you can be a part of the greater blessing by, hey, okay, you know what, I have this resource or this connection. Oh, you know what, I have a couple addresses that I want to donate, you know, and it's giving everybody that outlet, because everybody wants to do something great. They just don't know how. Everybody wants to be a part of something bigger. They just don't know how to get involved. You know, I really believe that at a certain point in life, people get to a point where it's just, you know, there has to be more in life, and they just don't know what that more is. And then they find that it's, you know, it's not more about them. It's more about other people, you know, in the world.
And like you said before, as you serve, you usually get served right back. You usually get something out of it without, it's going in without expectation, right? And you know it's going to come back to you somewhere. It never comes from where you're giving it. It will serve you back, though. It will come back.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was like, if you go in with no expectation, like you can't, you know, the universe knows. The universe knows.
It knows your heart. It absolutely does. And, you know, it's all about the greater good. We're leaving this world to our kids, and I want to make sure that my child is taken care of. Whether I'm here or not, I want to make sure that there are plenty of moms out there who are a little bit like me that she can go to and make sure that if she needs something, she has a safe place to ask for help. And that's all this is. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny that you say that, because I don't know if you've seen, but we started WOW Builders, which is...
I think I saw that, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's our youth advisory board. So for the first time ever, we have, you know, these young ladies that are 12 to 21 years old, and they put on their own events. They host their meetings. They get to pick, you know, whatever they want to do, community service projects, and really teaching them leadership skills and service at a young age. And, you know, we're here to kind of like very slightly mentor and guide them into the, into, you know, the right logistics of, you know, especially putting on events. But it's just for that. It's to bring them into in a safe community. All these girls, you know, when we first had our first meeting, I made them introduce themselves, and I asked the question, why do you want to be a part of WOW? All of them had a story in their own words of that they wanted a voice, you know, and
I love that.
Yes, because how many, I mean, and you know what?
I wished when we were growing up.
And as a mom, I'm guilty of that too, of always talking to them and not really letting them talk with, and let's have a conversation, you know, because there are human beings as well. They have heart, they have dreams, they have goals, and sometimes we just need to listen just a little bit more, right? Even to our own. But I mean, and just I was in tears that first meeting of just hearing
with all those stories.
Yeah, you know, and I just want a voice. I have ideas that I want to change the world, but I don't want to seem weird.
And this is what I want. Like, I'm really glad you're doing it at this, like, from 12 to 21. That's a very special age, because that's either just before or while the system is kind of breaking you into a lemming. It's like it's teaching you how to think. And just before that or during, you're wanting to question the system. You're wanting to express yourself, and a lot of times you can't. You can't in a classroom. The teacher is in charge. You know, there are parents out there who don't want you to question their authority, just want you to obey. And okay, maybe it works in certain situations. You want them to trust you, but in order for them to trust you, you need to earn their trust too. And to allow them to speak, to allow them to ask, they need to ask questions. And a lot of times there's no place for them to ask questions. And the fact that they can lead their own peers, that means, I mean, who knows their situations better than them and their peers? That's really great. That's what I want.
I mean, and I know we're on WOW's IG handle and everything like this, but I think I'm good to say this. I almost feel more inspired by our WOW builders and that youth advisory board than than, you know, they just have this special spark about them, and to see it.
It's that innocence, I think. Yeah, well, it's like the things we forgot.
And I don't remember ever feeling the way that they do when I was younger. You know, my head was just in a different place. But to see, like, wow, these are going to be strong. I mean, who knows? This could be the future first woman president of the world that, you know, is coming out of WOW Builders. And just because, you know, they're learning leadership skills, they're learning communication skills, they are learning really how to care about the world and people's problems, and realize, like, you know, it's not about how materialistic things, you know, and it's really about something more significant and more intangible than that.
Exactly. And it's the values that we as a community can help them develop, and they can test it for themselves to see if that's what fits them and how they can better serve each other and grow on their own. This is everything. I don't even have the words right now, but this is everything. This is exactly the kind of world I want to live in. Yes. For men, for women, for young boys and girls, for them to have a voice, to be able to say what they mean without having to sugarcoat it or spoon feed someone or pretend like, you know, that they don't feel the way that they do. They need to embrace their emotions. They need to own their truth. And the fact that you're encouraging them to do it then, instead of us relearning it now after everything that we've gone through, yeah, that's going to make a really strong future for all of us.
Yeah, and it's so weird. I mean, I'm not weird, and I know it's not by coincidence either, but in the last, like, probably month, I've had so many different conversations about the youth, you know, and the importance of youth. And for me, I really, really believe that, you know, all the problems that we see today in this world, like, it really starts with the youth. Like, how can we change those and make that change? It's going to start there. They are the roots of what is, you know, what's going to be grown, right? Yeah. And so if we can feed and pour into them and start there, like, maybe we'll see the corrections happen.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that means that we don't do because we've always done, but we innovate and do better than we've always done.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love everything about you. Like, I know that this is a family affair for you. I know your daughter's involved, and your son's involved, and your husband's involved, and then your community of friends and family, everyone's involved. And the fact that you're doing it for yourself, yeah, exactly. You're doing it. Your family's doing it. So that means you're not just saying these things. You're actually out there at the front line doing it. And I appreciate that about you.
And I love that's really how I never really thought of it when we first started WOW, this is what it would be, but it's the whole bridging the generations together, you know, and seeing, for me personally, seeing 4 generations of women come together, and not only women but men, and it's not with my family, it's like multiple others, you know, whether it's them and their daughters, or maybe they're bringing their moms, and it's both, or whatever. But it's just, I'm telling you, it's almost, service is everything, because even just that, serving together, it's, you know, whatever turmoil or whatever may be going on in those family relationships, like, it all goes.
I was going to say,
you know,
it's almost like you're getting rid of all the barriers. There's no more, none of this, you know, what happens in my house stays in my house. It's more like, let us all come together. I'm going to spend time with my daughter doing this today, and that gives you permission to spend time with your daughter doing this today. And as we surround each other with other people, like-minded people, we get to see that what my mom is teaching me, yeah, that's good, because that mom is teaching that too, and this mom is teaching that too. And you kind of see it as a community, and there's nothing better than that. Nothing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We did, was it, no, 2 Christmases ago, we did a holiday event for 500 people in Northern California that lost their homes in the wildfires.
Yeah,
And
I
every
remember.
person invited was, we knew that they had lost their homes.
Okay.
And, you know, so it was this big event. This is pretty much, it was like a 2-hour drive for most of where like our core group was, but we all trekked out there. All of us, you know, a lot of us had our families come out. I mean, I had my parents, my brother, my own family, my nephews were there. It was this big thing, and it was neat to have all of them there, all of our families there. And I know that I wasn't the only one that did this with my family. We served the whole day, put on this amazing event, everybody just in great spirits. And then we took like a short, like 5-minute drive to the neighborhood that most of them were from. That was completely wiped out and demolished, right, from the fires. We drove around, we even stopped the car, we got out. And, you know, I told the kids, I go, remember all those people, you know, hey, you remember
to bring it home for them?
Yeah. Remember the little boy that was passing out presents with you or right next to you?
Yeah.
This is the neighborhood they were from. And so it took them a while to process, like, this is, and yes, you know, putting that together, and it just kind of, it really puts everything into perspective, and to have them feel that, you know, emotion and to experience that emotion, really, of, you know, coming from that event and stepping out and being into their neighborhood and seeing, this is why we did what we did, you know. You know,
but I can only imagine, because kids are so far removed from some of that stuff. We live a life of privilege. I'm not going to lie. A lot of us live a life of privilege. But for them to see that these people who have lost everything still come with high hopes and high spirits, and still come to serve or be around other people with love in the face of this on the other side of the coin, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They feel that they're making a difference. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we can be so, you know, disconnected, even though it may be blasted all on our social media. We may see that all over TV and whatever, but to actually be there, you know, is a completely different story, you know. And
it's in your face then. Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, and that's what we're really, really huge on that. And when at all possible, WOW really tries to independently do our own events, and yeah, they might be, you know, on a smaller scale or whatever, but it's the fact that, you know, we're able to get to be a part of it, to be a part of not just planning, to really be a part of the community of whatever cause that we're supporting or community that we're serving. To me, it makes a difference for like our WOW members. It makes a difference where we're not just coming in just to come in and volunteer, where that is great. You know, don't get me wrong, but it makes a difference when you're like there planning it, being a part of it, seeing it evolve, and then really taking, you know, having a personal touch in it, you know, is really, really impactful.
And this is what I would like to encourage everybody. I see a lot of people for their birthdays on Facebook, they ask you to donate to a cause and everything. I would like to suggest that everybody instead go volunteer somewhere and ask people to join you to volunteer somewhere for your birthday. I think that would be rewarding for all of us, especially on your birthday.
That's funny that you say that. One of my good friends that you know, is actually a WOW sister. I am not probably by so yeah, I don't think by coincidence this happened, but every year on her birthday, for the last 2 years, she went with me on the second team that I took to Hurricane Harvey. Okay. And then she came with me in the team that we went for Hurricane Florence in North Carolina. Okay. And each was like a week after her birthday. And she goes, every year for my birthday, she goes, I want to serve. I want to do something. And it's just, you know, and she's like, and, you know, maybe next year I'm going to get a group of friends and we're going to, you know, go and do some, you know, natural disaster relief or some kind of mission work. And
Yeah, habitat, whatever. There's so many
yeah,
things out there that you can volunteer for.
yeah. And you don't even, it doesn't even have to be something big where you have to travel. Uh, like we
There are
do a
phone
lot of
lines that you
things
can man.
that, or I mean, just, you know, for us, like we go to like a park, a couple of parks, a couple of communities that we know that there's a lot of homeless camps in, and we go, you know, we'll bring meals, we'll bring donations, clothes, and things like that, and you know, same thing, we bring the family. Like really, the kids really love doing all of that stuff, of being able to like really hand out things and talk with them, and it's kind of easy for us because we just sit back and we just don't really do anything. They just hand everything out. But you know, it doesn't have to be something where you travel. It can be right. It could be in your own neighborhood.
Exactly.
There's a need
And that's where I
every
want
day.
people to start,
Yeah.
because you see these people every day. You have a responsibility to humanity to show
Yeah.
that humans are not the most, they don't have to be the most destructive animals on the planet. We could actually be productive and helpful and kind and loving. We have that capacity too.
And that's for all of us. That is our blessing, right?
Yeah.
One of them.
The
One of
fact
our
that we
gifts.
can choose is the blessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Well,
what?
I really
Okay.
appreciate, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I know you've been really trying to highlight everybody and kind of, you know, showcase them, but why don't you tell everybody what are you doing and what is your need? How can we help and
What is my
support you?
need? I need the world to be a little kinder so that as my child grows up, she can experience kindness and know that when she wants to give it, it's not rare. It's
Yeah.
always there, everywhere. That's what I want. That's my need. That is the ultimate goal. That is the legacy.
And what do you have up your sleeve? I know you're always got
Um,
something going on.
Yeah, at the moment, I'm busy collaborating with people, which I absolutely enjoy doing. You already know that. I'm seriously looking into how I can bring WoW here, because I feel like there are a lot of people, especially in Asia. I don't know, you know, for your family, your community, for your hometown, for your history, your, you know, your ancestry or whatever. I know in Asia, we're not allowed to say a lot. I know in Asia there are so many stereotypes, and you have to listen to what your parents say, and there's no room for you to feel the heartbreaks or the loss or the grief. There's no time for you to process any of those things. And I want to make sure that I create a place for people to be able to do that. Whether it's online, in person, whatever, I would probably rather have it in person so I can really see these people. But I've only been back home for about 6 years now. And in that short time, I've seen how family moves on without you. I've seen how friends become more like family. I've seen how people are afraid to ask for help, and
Yes.
they're in dire straits and afraid to ask for help. And these are just young women that they're dealing with things that are beyond their scope of experience. And if we don't come forward and say, yeah, I've been through that, and then they know who to ask for help, they have nowhere to go. A lot of times if they find themselves, I hate to say it, but in, you know, unplanned pregnancies and abusive relationships with boyfriends, they have nowhere to go and say anything, because often the answer is, well, I told you so. Well, I knew that was going to happen. Well, you should have known better. But that's not what they need to hear. They're already beating themselves up for being in these situations. They don't know how to get out of it. They don't know if what they're feeling is something they're making bigger in their head, or if it's actually bad. And I want for them to know that there are people out here that they love unconditionally. They want to see you heal and get better. And it's amazing how just a little bit of kindness and a little bit of attention, these girls will turn their lives around on their own.
Yeah.
But they just need to know that it's okay to feel what they're feeling for that moment. And
Yeah.
that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, well, this is exactly why we do those weekly expert series calls.
Yes,
And,
ma'am.
you know, and I think a lot of times people think like calls, like it's like a webinar or workshop. And this really has nothing. It's really, honestly, I did not know how this was going to be, because I love meeting face to face, you
Yeah.
know, and I think that there's something just so special about bonds created like that. And I really wasn't sure that that would be able to,
Be conveyed.
yes,
Yeah.
over, you know, Zoom calls, and, you know, when you're just seeing all these, we look at the Brady Bunch and all these little boxes and squares.
Yeah.
Um, And I can't, I mean, I'm really blown away by the whole thing of like really how much stronger bonds, or even just the beginning of bonds are, and that, yeah, we really can um, affect each other in that way of just even using, you know, technology. Like we don't have to be face to face or sitting across from a table. We can be sitting, you know, screen to screen, I guess, and it works. And you know, I honestly, people always try to I'm the worst at explaining it because I really, there are no words to explain what happens on these calls, on these Sunday calls. And one of the, and I really need to get testimonies from them, from people, so that they can explain it, so I'm not left, you know, without words. But somebody had joined the call a month ago, and you know, she was talking to me about it, and you know, I just said, just try it, you know, and saying all these things that I just said here. And she got on. I touched base with her like a day after, and she was like, now I know what you mean. And I go, what do you mean? You know, and she's, now I know why you say you have to experience a call. And you know, it's come as you are. We embrace everyone, and it's really kind of let loose, let your hair down, have a safe environment. There might be 4-letter friendly words that are said, and you know, I've done a lot of groups, you know, Facebook groups and workshops and things like that, but it always really, to me, never like felt like everybody could be themselves, you know. And this is like, you know, I'm like, wow. It just opens that door and just gives everybody that safe zone of like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. And it's, you know, the same thing goes because we do book club calls too.
Yep, you did. You did Obama, Michelle Obama's Becoming book recently, and then you're doing a new one now, correct?
Yeah, we just did Rachel Hollis, Girl
Wash
Your Face.
Yep.
Yeah, this book. This is a little shameless plug. Everybody needs to read this book. An amazing book, and we're actually almost done with it. We're going to start reading her second book, Girls Stop Apologizing.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Our stupid tagline is, not stupid, okay, but our tagline is, you know,
cheesy's good.
Read, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you read,
that's
sometimes
true.
you don't. And that's just it. It's like people don't join because they think, oh, I didn't read the book. Well, you don't need to read the book. Just come on, you know.
Just come discuss.
Yes. And it's just, you know, sometimes you have a therapy session on a call with, you know, somebody that just needs it, and we're all there for them. And, you know, it's a crying fest. And some days we're just laughing, and you can't really get anything serious in because all we're doing is just joking around.
But you need that too. And I'm gonna plug August real quick. We have Jip Wars because we can, and it's nice when we've all been working hard all week and freaking out about whatever's going on in our own lives, plus the summit that's coming up. But a GIF, it's so silly, and then you can go check out the thread whenever you feel like, if you need a laugh, if you need to kind of let your hair down and reminisce, because a lot of it is like old movies and clips that you've seen hundreds of years ago you completely forgot about. But you need both. You need a shoulder to lean on, and you need a reason to laugh sometimes. And the fact that you have a community that you can go to, internet being 24 hours like it is, yes, it could be a trap, but a lot of times, meaning if I can't call during work hours because my friends and family are working, I have someone I can message online. Exactly. And they can breathe life back into me right when I need it, if it's urgent. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2 people that I know that met through WOW, it just told me like, hey, you know, I spoke with so-and-so, and we had a 3-hour conversation on the phone. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, and it's just crazy. Like, I just love that. And I know you do too, because you're like,
yes, ma'am.
The guru of connections. And
I like that. Thank you. I will proudly wear that title. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first time we spoke, it just happened to be because you had a question about a course we were in together, and we had a great long conversation. And I don't know, I was forever changed by it. I love and I wasn't sure what to expect either, but until you get on the call and you actually have that connection, you just never know. Yeah. You just never know, which is why serving without expectation is so important. You just go. You're there because you need to be there. Yes. And then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
No expectations, you guys. Be open.
Yes. Yes. And get out of yourselves.
Please. One more thing. Please go follow WOW. Winning with Other Women. And it is worldwide, and it is also extended to family and friends, male or female, it doesn't matter. But the point is to serve. The point is to start where you are, where you can affect change around you. Start with playgroups for your kids. Start with, after school for your kids. Start wherever you are. Just do something. It's worth it. These kids are our future. This is everything.
Yeah. I mean, we are all the future, right? We all have a
I'm still a kid, by the way.
Yes. So am I.
And serving with kids gives us the excuse to be kids still. We get to be silly and goofy and dress up and, re-experience all those things. We get to share memories with people.
Yes.
We get to build great stories for our grandkids.
And that is everything. Like, it really has nothing to do with how much is in our bank account, what we've accumulated materialistically, but it's the journey along the way, the stories that you have to share, the experiences that people are going to be inspired by, and the fact that we just keep going and we did not let anything stop us, is going to be huge.
And I love that you said, money in the bank. From my perspective, I have been very rich and I've been very poor. And the best of times is when we didn't have much and we made the best of everything. So for me, money means opportunity. And if money means opportunity, that doesn't necessarily have to be for me. It could be for other people too. Mm-hmm. And if I share, I still get back. It's just not money. I get back. I am still rich and I am still whole and I am still very loved and supported.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, ma'am. You too. I love you so much. Thank you so much for your help and your time. Keep doing what you're doing. People, please get up and go do something. Stop letting Netflix run your life. Okay? I've been prone to that trap as well. Go do something. Go be with the people around you. Be present. Go have fun. Life is about living.
Yeah, and let's win together.
Yes, ma'am. Always. So follow W.W.O.W, Winning with Other Women. It is not just limited to women, but please join the force, join the movement. It's totally worth it. Let's make our kids proud.
Yes. Leave a legacy.
Yes,
worth
ma'am.
sharing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Pika, for your time. And you're already into your weekend, right? So.
Yes, ma'am. It is Saturday afternoon. I gotta do some stuff. I gotta do laundry.
Oh. Self-care.
Yeah. Luckily, there's a machine for that, so I don't have to hand wash it anymore. So yeah, just load it and go.
Well, and thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you so much.
Replay, thank you. And
yes, ma'am. I will tag you on Facebook and I'll add this on YouTube as well. So for those of y'all who happen to miss the 24-hour live, please go check it out on YouTube. Please go check it out on Facebook and follow WOW. It's worth it. It really is. She's actually making a difference. Okay. I love you.
We all are. Love you too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.